Have you ever stopped to think that that white feather that appeared out of nowhere in your living room could be much more than a simple coincidence? And that inexplicable scent of roses that comes when you're alone? While many dismiss these signs as random events, a growing number of people are discovering an extraordinary truth that science is still trying to explain. Angels are more present in our homes than we realize. What would you say if I told you that 78% of people have experienced at least one of these angelic signs without even realizing it? Yes, you read that right. And even more surprising, that feeling of not being alone, even when no one is around, may be exactly what you're thinking about, a divine manifestation trying to communicate with you. Get ready for a revelation that will completely transform the way you see the seemingly inexplicable events happening in your home. Once you know these 8 surprising signs, you will never again ignore that sudden change in temperature or those mysterious lights that sometimes flash for no apparent reason. Contrary to what many skeptics try to argue, these angelic manifestations have been documented for thousands of years, from sacred texts to modern reports of spiritual experiences. And the most interesting thing, the more you learn to recognize these signs, the more frequent and evident they become. The time has come to open your eyes to a dimension of protection and love that has always been around you, but that you may not have yet learned to recognize. Get ready for a journey of discovery that will awaken your spiritual sensitivity and transform your connection with the divine. In an increasingly fast-paced world, finding moments of calm and peace has become a true spiritual treasure. Many seek this tranquility through prayer and meditation, without realizing that it is already present within them. The divine presence manifests itself precisely in these moments of stillness, when we are able to silence our mind and connect with our deepest essence. The synchronicity of life shows us that the more we cultivate inner peace, the more we attract harmonious situations. It is as if the universe conspired in our favor, bringing divine messages through the simplest events of everyday life. Many people report extraordinary experiences of spiritual guidance when they begin to practice mindful breathing exercises. The Bible teaches us that the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, will guard their hearts and minds. This angelic protection manifests itself in surprising ways when we allow ourselves to slow down. Notice how the repeating numbers start to appear in your life when you are more centered and at peace. Angel signs appear most often when we are in a state of serenity. It is common for people to perceive a sense of divine companionship during their morning spiritual practices. Try setting aside 10 minutes in the morning to simply breathe and give thanks. You'll be amazed at the miracles that will start to happen. Angelic manifestation occurs naturally when we create space for the sacred in our lives. Many report experiences with bright lights during their meditation times, especially when practicing in a quiet and welcoming environment. Faith is strengthened when we take the time to nurture our spiritual connection. During moments of contemplation, it is common to feel subtle temperature changes, as if a gentle breeze brings comfort and security. These are signs of the divine presence that many mystics and scholars of spirituality have documented over the centuries. Regular mindfulness practice can increase your sensitivity to these manifestations. The sweet aromas that arise inexplicably are often associated with experiences of deep inner peace. Some people report smelling soft perfumes during their prayers, especially when they are in a state of complete surrender and trust. Angelic protection manifests in mysterious and comforting ways. Dreams and visions become more frequent and meaningful when we maintain a routine of spiritual practices. It is as if our channel of communication with the divine expands, allowing us to receive clearer and clearer guidance. Many find answers to their prayers through insights during these contemplative states. The synchronicity of events in our life increases in proportion to our level of inner peace. When we are truly still, we begin to notice how everything fits together perfectly, like a divine puzzle. The white feathers appear at significant moments as heavenly reminders that we are on the right path. The true power of calm and peace lies in its ability to transform not only our inner reality, but also the world around us. The more we cultivate this serenity, the more we become channels of light for others. The temperature changes around us can be a sign that we are becoming true instruments of peace. The mysterious appearance of white feathers has intrigued spiritual seekers over the centuries. Considered one of the most evident signs of angelic manifestation, these delicate messengers usually appear at the most unexpected moments. Angelic protection manifests itself through these pure symbols, bringing comfort and security to those who know how to interpret their meanings. Many report finding white feathers in unlikely places, such as indoors, with all windows closed. The synchronicity of these events cannot be ignored, especially when they happen in times of deep prayer or need for spiritual guidance. It's as if the universe conspires to send us signals that we're not alone. The Bible often mentions angels and their wings, establishing a direct connection between feathers and the divine presence. During moments of meditation, some people report feeling a gentle breeze accompanied by the appearance of white feathers, even indoors. These experiences are usually accompanied by an inexplicable feeling of company. Sweet aromas often accompany the appearance of these celestial feathers, creating a complete sensory experience that transcends the ordinary. Scholars of spirituality suggest keeping a diary to record each apparition, also noting the circumstances, thoughts, and feelings of the moment. This record can reveal surprising patterns of repeated numbers. The bright lights sometimes precede or follow the appearance of white feathers, creating an atmosphere of true spiritual enchantment. Many describe a sense of deep tranquility in these moments, as if time itself pauses to deliver a divine message. Faith is naturally strengthened through these experiences. It is common to notice temperature changes in the environment when a white feather appears inexplicably. These angelic manifestations usually bring with them a comforting energy, like a heavenly embrace that envelops us in moments of doubt or sadness. Divine protection is present in subtle but significant ways. Dreams and visions related to white feathers are considered especially significant in the field of spiritual guidance. Many people report dream experiences where angels leave feathers as symbols of their presence, often accompanied by divine messages that bring direction and comfort. The synchronicity between the appearance of white feathers and important events in our lives cannot be underestimated. Notice how these angel signs often come up just when we need confirmation about a decision or path forward. It is as if each feather were a small compass pointing to our true direction. During meditation practices, some people develop a special sensitivity to perceive the energy of white feathers before they even see them. This deeper spiritual connection allows them to recognize the everyday miracles that many let go unnoticed. Regular mindfulness practice can amplify this perception. The transformative power of white feathers lies in their ability to reconnect us with our divine essence. When we find a white feather, it is as if we receive a heavenly reminder that the sweet aromas of the divine presence are always around us, and we only need to open our hearts to perceive them. The phenomenon of unexplained bright lights has fascinated spiritual seekers and scientists throughout the ages. These luminous manifestations, often associated with the divine presence, appear at the most unexpected moments, bringing with them an energy of angelic protection that transcends our ordinary understanding. Many report experiencing a deep sense of peace during these encounters. During meditation practice, it is common for sensitive people to notice small points of light dancing in their visual field. This synchronicity between the contemplative state and the luminous manifestations is no coincidence. The ancient mystics already described these experiences in their sacred texts. The Bible is replete with references to divine appearances accompanied by extraordinary lights. Temperature changes often accompany these luminous angelic manifestations, creating a multisensory experience that confirms their spiritual origin. Some people report smelling sweet aromas the moment the lights appear, as if the air itself has become a conduit of divine messages. The feeling of company becomes almost tangible. Angel signs through lights can appear in many forms: sudden flashes, orbs of light, or even geometric patterns of light. Experienced practitioners of spiritual guidance suggest keeping a photographic diary of these occurrences, especially when repeated numbers appear in the images or specific times of the manifestations. During times of intense prayer, some congregants report seeing bright lights that seem to answer their pleas. This communication through light represents one of the most direct forms of angelic manifestation, bringing comfort and security to those seeking confirmation of their faith. Miracles often present themselves through these luminous signs. Dreams and visions involving extraordinary lights are considered especially significant in the field of spirituality. Many people wake up with the vivid memory of being visited by beings of light, experiences that are often accompanied by divine messages of profound personal transformation. The synchronicity between the appearance of bright lights and important events in our lives deserves special attention. Notice how these manifestations usually precede or succeed moments of great decision or change. The white feathers sometimes appear along with these lights as a celestial signature confirming the sacred origin of the phenomenon. Scholars of modern spirituality have documented impressive cases of luminous apparitions during collective meditation practices. It is as if the joint energy of the participants created a favorable field for these angelic manifestations, which in turn increase the tranquility and peace of the environment. Science is beginning to investigate these phenomena from a new perspective, recognizing that there is much more between heaven and earth than our vain philosophy can explain. Some people develop a special sensitivity to perceive these lights even before they manifest physically, as an advanced form of spiritual guidance. The true power of bright lights lies in their ability to awaken our consciousness to subtler realities. When we open ourselves to these experiences, we begin to notice how the spiritual world is constantly communicating with us through these light signs. The unexplained variations in temperature have puzzled scholars of spirituality for generations. These sudden changes, especially when accompanied by a sense of companionship, are often interpreted as clear signs of angelic manifestation. Divine protection makes itself felt through these thermal changes that seem to defy the laws of physics. During times of deep prayer or meditation, many people report experiencing hot or cold flashes that cannot be explained by environmental factors. The synchronicity of these events with heightened states of spiritual consciousness suggests a direct connection to the divine plan. Some describe the sensation as a heavenly embrace that brings with it unexplained sweet aromas. The Bible contains several passages that mention divine manifestations accompanied by atmospheric changes. This ancestral spiritual guidance helps us understand how the presence of angels can manifest through changes in ambient temperature. Angel signs often include a combination of thermal sensations with bright lights. Scholars of modern spirituality have documented cases where temperature changes coincide with significant moments of personal transformation. It is common for these experiences to be accompanied by repeated numbers on the clock or other synchronized events that confirm their sacred nature. Faith is strengthened through these tangible confirmations. During collective spiritual practices, it is not uncommon for multiple people to experience the same thermal variations simultaneously. This shared tranquility serves as further validation of the authenticity of these angelic manifestations. Some people report seeing white feathers appear just during these moments of thermal change. Dreams and visions involving dramatic temperature changes are considered especially significant in the field of spiritual guidance. Many mystics have developed the ability to interpret these divine messages by relating different thermal patterns to specific types of celestial communication. The synchronicity between temperature changes and important events in our lives deserves special attention. For example, some people report feeling a reassuring heat wave just as they make an important decision, as if they were receiving a sign of divine approval. Miracles often manifest themselves through these subtle confirmations. Science is beginning to investigate how our sensitivity to thermal variations may be related to our ability to perceive more subtle energies. Experienced meditators suggest keeping a diary of these occurrences, noting not only the changes in temperature, but also the thoughts and emotions that accompany them. The comfort and safety provided by these thermal experiences transcend mere physical sensation. It is as if each temperature variation carries with it a specific message, a divine code that our spirit instinctively understands. Angelic protection manifests itself in ways that our physical senses barely begin to comprehend. The transformative power of sudden temperature changes lies in their ability to awaken us to a wider reality. When we learn to recognize and interpret these signs, our connection with the divine naturally deepens. The sudden appearance of sweet, pleasant aromas with no apparent source has been documented as one of the most intriguing signs of the divine presence. This angelic manifestation, known in many spiritual circles as the perfume of the angels, carries with it an energy of angelic protection that transcends our ordinary understanding. The feeling of company becomes almost palpable when these aromas appear. Many spiritual seekers report experiences with heavenly fragrances during times of deep prayer or meditation. The synchronicity of these events with heightened states of consciousness suggests a direct connection to the divine plan. Some people describe scents that resemble roses, vanilla, or incense, even in environments where these essences are not present. The Bible mentions the use of perfumes and incense in sacred rituals several times, establishing an ancient connection between aromas and spirituality. This ancestral spiritual guidance helps us understand how the presence of angels can manifest through unexplained fragrances. Angel signs often combine these sweet scents with subtle temperature changes. During collective spiritual practices, it is not uncommon for several people to perceive the same aroma simultaneously. This shared experience of tranquility serves as further validation of the authenticity of these divine messages. Some report seeing bright lights or white feathers appear along with these heavenly fragrances. The synchronicity between the appearance of these aromas and significant moments in our lives deserves special attention. For example, some people report feeling a soft, comforting scent just when they need comfort or confirmation in their decisions. Miracles often manifest themselves through these subtle olfactory manifestations. Dreams and visions involving specific scents are considered especially significant in the field of spiritual guidance. Many mystics have developed the ability to interpret these divine messages by relating different fragrances to specific types of angelic communication. Faith is strengthened through these deep sensory experiences. Scholars of modern spirituality suggest keeping a detailed record of these aromatic occurrences. Notice if there are patterns of repeated numbers or synchronized events that coincide with the appearance of these heavenly perfumes. This documentation can reveal surprising patterns in your spiritual journey. Science is beginning to investigate how our olfactory sensitivity can be connected to our ability to perceive more subtle energies. Some people develop a special sensitivity to detect these aromas even before they fully manifest as an advanced form of spiritual perception. The comfort and safety provided by these olfactory experiences transcend mere physical sensation. It is as if each aroma carries with it a specific frequency, a divine vibration that our spirit recognizes instantly. Angelic protection manifests through these perfumes in ways that our rational mind is still trying to comprehend. The transformative power of sweet scents lies in their ability to instantly transport us to a state of greater spiritual awareness. When we learn to recognize and interpret these signs, our connection with the divine naturally deepens. The mysterious sensation of not being alone, even when physically unaccompanied, is one of the most intriguing manifestations of the divine presence. This experience of angelic protection manifests as a warming and comforting energy, bringing with it an inexplicable peace that transcends our ordinary understanding. Many describe this feeling as an invisible hug that brings deep tranquility. During times of prayer or meditation, this perception of spiritual companionship becomes even more evident. The synchronicity of these events with heightened states of consciousness suggests a direct connection to the divine plan. Some people report experiencing sweet aromas and subtle temperature changes when this presence becomes more intense. The Bible is filled with accounts of encounters with angels and heavenly messengers, validating these experiences of spiritual companionship. This ancestral orientation helps us understand how angelic manifestation can present itself in subtle but deeply meaningful ways. Angel signs often include this distinctive sense of protective presence. Scholars of modern spirituality have documented numerous instances where this sense of companionship coincides with moments of great emotional or spiritual need. It is common for these experiences to be accompanied by repeated numbers or other synchronized events that confirm their sacred nature. Faith is naturally strengthened through these confirmations. During spiritual practices, many report noticing bright lights or seeing white feathers appear just when this feeling of companionship is strongest. This combination of signs serves as a form of divine communication, bringing messages of comfort and reassurance to those who are attentive to these everyday miracles. Dreams and visions involving encounters with angelic presences are considered especially significant. Many mystics have developed the ability to distinguish different types of spiritual energy, relating each specific sensation to different forms of spiritual guidance. Regular mindfulness practice can increase our sensitivity to these presences. The synchronicity between these companion experiences and important events in our lives deserves special attention. For example, some people report feeling a comforting presence just when they face difficult decisions or moments of personal transformation. It is as if they were given an invisible guide at the most needed moments. Experienced meditators suggest keeping a diary of these occurrences, noting not only the feeling of companionship, but also the circumstances in which it manifests. This record can reveal surprising patterns in your spiritual journey and help you develop a deeper understanding of these experiences. Science is beginning to investigate how our perception of presence can be related to altered states of consciousness and transcendental experiences. Some people develop a special sensitivity to detect these presences even before they fully manifest as an advanced form of spiritual perception. The transformative power of this sense of companionship lies in its ability to reconnect us with our divine essence. When we learn to recognize and trust these angelic presences, our spiritual journey naturally deepens. The fascinating phenomenon of synchronicity reveals how the universe operates in mysterious ways to bring us divine messages. These seemingly coincidental but deeply significant events are often interpreted as angelic manifestations that guide us on our spiritual journey. Divine protection manifests through these synchronized patterns that seem to defy the odds. During times of intense spiritual connection, whether through prayer or meditation, these synchronicities tend to intensify, Many report experiences where repeated numbers appear in sequence, accompanied by sensations of company and inexplicable sweet aromas. The tranquility that accompanies these discoveries brings a deep sense of being on the right track. The Bible contains numerous examples of synchronized events that reveal the divine presence in the lives of believers. This ancestral spiritual guidance helps us understand how angel signs can manifest through meaningful coincidences. It is not uncommon for these experiences to be accompanied by changes in temperature or bright lights that confirm their sacred origin. Scholars of modern spirituality have documented striking patterns of synchronicity in moments of personal transformation. For example, repeatedly finding the same message in different sources, or coming across people who bring exactly the necessary information at the right time. Faith is naturally strengthened when we recognize these daily miracles. During regular spiritual practices, many develop a special sensitivity to perceiving these synchronized connections. Some report seeing white feathers appear at crucial moments of decision, or experiencing dreams and visions that connect perfectly with the next day's events. It is as if the universe conspires to guide us through these signals. Synchronicity often manifests itself through numbers, mirror hours, or meaningful sequences that appear repeatedly. Experienced practitioners suggest keeping a journal of these occurrences, as the patterns that emerge can reveal divine messages important to our spiritual guidance. Each significant coincidence is like a small confirmation of the chosen path. The comfort and safety provided by these synchronized experiences transcend mere chance. It is as if each perfectly timed event carries with it a specific frequency of celestial communication. Angelic protection manifests through these patterns in ways that our rational mind is still trying to understand. Science is beginning to investigate how these synchronicities can be connected to subtler energy fields that permeate our reality. Some people develop a remarkable ability to attract these meaningful coincidences, as if they were naturally attuned to the frequency of angelic manifestations. Mystics have long recognized the transformative power of synchronicity in our spiritual journey. When we begin to pay attention to these signs, our connection with the divine naturally deepens. It is common for these experiences to be accompanied by a deep sense of peace and inner certainty. The true power of synchronicity lies in its ability to show us that there is a greater order at work in our lives. When we learn to recognize and trust these synchronized patterns, our spiritual journey takes on a new dimension of meaning. The realm of dreams and visions represents one of the most direct channels for angelic manifestation in our lives. During these altered states of consciousness, divine protection reveals itself through symbols and messages that transcend our ordinary understanding. Many experience a deep sense of peace and tranquility during these meaningful spiritual experiences. The synchronicity between prophetic dreams and waking life events has puzzled scholars of spirituality for generations. It is not uncommon for these experiences to be accompanied by physical signs, such as sweet aromas upon awakening or unexplained temperature changes in the room. The feeling of divine companionship often persists even after awakening. The Bible is replete with examples where spiritual guidance was transmitted through dreams and visions. From Joseph interpreting dreams in Egypt to the prophetic visions of the Apocalypse, these experiences have been instrumental in the transmission of divine messages. Angel signs often manifest first in our dream state before they materialize into reality. During regular meditation practices, many people develop an increased ability to recall and interpret their dreams. Some report seeing bright lights or white feathers in their visions, followed by synchronized events that confirm the prophetic nature of these experiences. Faith is naturally strengthened through these tangible confirmations. Modern scholars of spirituality recommend keeping a detailed dream journal, especially when repeating numbers or specific patterns begin to appear frequently. This practice can reveal important divine messages that develop over time, like a celestial puzzle gradually coming together. Dreams involving encounters with angelic presences are considered especially significant in the field of spiritual guidance. Many mystics have developed complex systems for interpreting different types of visions, relating specific symbols to different forms of divine communication. Miracles often manifest themselves first in dreams before they materialize. Science is beginning to investigate how our altered states of consciousness during sleep can facilitate the perception of more subtle realities. Some people develop a special sensitivity to distinguish between ordinary dreams and true spiritual visions as an advanced form of intuitive discernment. The transformative power of dreams and visions lies in their ability to connect us directly with the spiritual plane. When we learn to consciously work with these experiences, our spiritual journey takes on a new dimension of depth. The comfort and security provided by these experiences transcend our rational understanding. The synchronicity between elements of our dreams and waking life events deserves special attention. For example, dreaming of a specific symbol and then encountering it by chance the next day can be a clear sign of divine guidance. These confirmations serve as bridges between the spiritual and material worlds. To develop a deeper understanding of your dreams and visions, it's important to create a conducive environment before bed. Some practitioners suggest a brief meditation or prayer before bedtime, consciously inviting angelic protection and divine messages to manifest during sleep. Regular practice can significantly increase the clarity and frequency of these transcendental experiences. Now that you know these 8 amazing signs of angelic presence, an important question arises. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Imagine how many divine messages you may have missed until today because you did not know how to interpret them. But don't worry, the time to wake up is now. How about starting by paying more attention to the small accidents of your daily life? That white feather that appears at crucial moments, the inexplicable aroma of roses, the sudden changes in temperature. What if each of these events was an attempt at divine communication waiting to be recognized? Have you ever stopped to think how many important decisions in your life could have been different if you had noticed the signs that the angels were sending? Do not let any more heavenly message go unnoticed. Your guardian angel is constantly trying to communicate. You just need to learn his language. How about taking a test? For the next 7 days, keep a journal noting each of these signs that appear in your life. You will be surprised at the amount of angelic manifestations that happen when we start to pay attention. And remember, the more you recognize these signs, the more frequent they become. So are you ready to transform your connection with the spiritual plane? If you want to continue learning about the mysteries of the angelic presence and receive more exclusive content about spirituality and personal development, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Together, let's unravel the secrets that the universe has in store for you.